For a minute, there's a point of order from member for Endebess.
Honorable Speaker, I stand under Standing Order 81 on relevance. We are talking about appropriation bill, where we are supplementary appropriation bill, where we are talking about government allowing government to withdraw funds to finance. The only relevant thing in that supplementary is where we are paying teachers, the invigilators, and the examiners. So when Honorable Nsengu brings in the issue of a promise of a school bus, is he in order, Honorable Speaker, to bring relevance into this debate?
Honorable Nsengu.
Honorable Speaker, I do not have any other opportunity to request for fairness for my constituents, so I stand by my demand that if we are passing appropriating money for the presidency, then that money should be directed to honor that pledge. Honorable Speaker, I stand guarded. Honorable Speaker, on the matter of Mwacha Dam, Honorable Speaker, we visited as a committee, because I belong to the Committee of Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation, and we realized that the community where the water is being abstracted from is not benefiting from the Mwache project. The water is being collected from the Mwache area, but the water is going to Mombasa County. And we insisted as a committee that the community, the host community, must be considered in that project. So I hope that part of this money will be used to provide water for the host community. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, this has been the story over and over again in the project where the Karemenu project. You realize the Karemenu in Muranga, you realize that the host community is not benefiting from the water. The water is
Karemenu in Muranga?
Karemenu is in Ruiru, I think it's Muranga.
It is not in Muranga, but...
Okay, that project, the Northern Collector Tunnel, let me correct myself. The Northern Collector Tunnel, which is in Muranga, when we visited that project, again the same story of the host community not benefiting and the water benefiting some communities downstream is the same that has been repeated in Mwache. So, Madam Speaker, I want to urge that the planners of this water project must take care of the host community before it benefits other community. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Member for Tharaka.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, today we are debating the bill itself. Yesterday we were on the estimates, but the statements that were made yesterday continue to be repeated this morning, and it's important that we also respond to them. Number one, we were given areas where this money is actually being appropriated to, and we debated on those areas. A repetition that there is money being allocated to the presidency. We have said that the presidency is as important as any other facet of this government. And to prove this, you can see what the office is doing as we speak today. The chief executive of the country is out of the country, busy working for this country in matters that are going to be of benefit to us. That is number one. Number two, as he works out there, the deputy president, and we must admit that we have one of the best deputy presidents since the era of Moi. Moi was the only other person who actually rivals Professor Kithure Kindiki. Absolutely. You can see the way he's running the country in the absence of the chief executive. I do repeat, without any qualms whatsoever, that
what is out of order, member for Kegumo?
What's the scale? I don't have to have your scale.
Take your seat, Honorable Murugara.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think we must also be truthful and factual in this House, and all statements must be verifiable. How, Standing Order number 83, how can Murugara claim that you have the best deputy president since the era of Moi? What criteria are you using?
Honorable Gigi.
Thank you very much. Let me give you the right scale. The right scale is number one. Number
Other
one.
members, the member has just taken on his feet.
I haven't said anything.
He has not even spoken. Give him a
Absolutely.
minute to say something.
The scale I have used is my own scale. I am entitled to debate. I am entitled to express my opinion here. I can assure you, listen to why I say so, if you want to hear. Number one, Professor Kithure Kindiki understands the government.
Honorable members,
understands the government.
honorable
And he
members,
understands it very well.
honorable members, we agreed shouting will not sort out our issues. I am being very fair to give every person a chance to speak. Honorable members, Honorable Ngogoyo, take your seat. Take your seat. I have not given you the floor. Take your seat. Honorable members, let us maintain decorum. We were doing very well. Even now, there is no chance, there is no reason to be agitated. We will hear each other. So, honorable members, I know many of you are really pushing buttons today, but allow us, no, I'm not sending anyone out. And do not do the speaker's work. Do not do the speaker's work. I will give you, Honorable Kalasinga, what is out of order? It is not only you, Honorable Ngogoyo. Honorable members are raising points of order.
Madam
I will
Speaker.
indulge Honorable Kalasinga.
Madam Speaker, is Honorable Murugara in order to insinuate that the current deputy president was elected by the people of Kenya? They were not. He was appointed by a few executives. Madam Speaker, can he purport to be telling us about the deputy president who was not elected on the ballot? On the ballot, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Murugara.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, it is important I remind you that I am a seasoned lawyer in this country, and everybody knows it. Nobody would ever point a finger at me. In this country, you do not elect a deputy president, my friend. Deputy presidents are nominated. Read your law. We never casted any votes for a deputy president, and we will never do so. Even regarding Gachagua, we did not vote for him.
What is out of order?
We voted for only the president.
Hold on, Murugara.
But his name appears with a nominated deputy president.
Honorable Ngogoyo, what is out of order? And shouting at the speaker does not add to your cause. What is out of order?
Madam Speaker, and Madam Speaker, you know I have a lot of respect for you. I stand understanding Order 97. 1, a member cannot speak on a question twice. The Honorable Murugara spoke yesterday on this question.
On what?
On this question on the supplementary budget. He's speaking for the second time. You cannot speak on a matter twice, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Ngogoyo, that I know there is a lot of confusion of what went on yesterday and what is going on today. Honorable members, be guided that yesterday was the report, which was very different, which is very different from what we are dealing with today. This bill has just been moved today. Yesterday was something very different. So, honorable members, Honorable Murugara, do not explain that. The speaker has guided. It was not exhaustive. You did not speak yesterday.
The speaker
so
has
kindly
guided.
finish your submission and we make progress.
And I was called upon to substantiate what I said. Absolutely. No, substantiation is as follows. And I'm also a student of history. So I know what President Moi did when he was vice president to Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. So when I draw the comparison, when I draw the analogy, I have the facts in my fingertips. And if you wish to get them, I'll give them to you one by one. We must absolutely, we have said we are allocating 200 million to the office of the deputy president. And you cannot question that, I'm sorry, because we passed the estimates yesterday. If you were not here, you have yourself to blame. Number two, it depends on whether this motion, this bill, will carry the day or not. And it's going to carry the day. Therefore, we must appreciate the important work that Deputy President is doing for the country. And I must laud the ODM. When they gave us the experts, actually we from the Mount Kenya East, we also gave this government an expert in the name of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Professor Kithure Kindiki. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, I need to clarify to the House something very quickly. Yesterday's motion was the consideration of the supplementary estimates for the year 2025-2026 general debate, that this House adopts the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the consideration of the same. So that even the members who spoke yesterday, you still have a chance to speak today, because these are different bill, different motion. Are we together, honorable members? We are doing very well. Honorable members, I'll give the member for Suba South. Honorable Karoli.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I think what we are witnessing here is now the long list of examples of poor planning in this administration. A government that is very long on promises and short on delivery, that exhibits unprecedented confusion, impulsive expenditure, limited transparency and accountability. We have before us a supplementary budget concentrating resources in the office of the Deputy President for what they call operations, office of the State House for what they call operations again, Department of Internal Security for what they call general administration, and National Intelligence Service for what they don't even describe what it is. Madam Speaker, we know why this money is being allocated to these particular offices. It is to provide resources for political campaigns. We know that. They do it all the time. Confidential expenditure that nobody can verify. And it goes on a long list, including the failed Kisumu rally that was financed by the state.
Honorable Karoli, there is a point of order from the Chair, National Administration.
Give me the mic, please. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I think the learned, my good friend learned Karoli is misleading the House. And I want to challenge the members who are actually making noise on this. We should delink the office of the institution, the presidency, from the individuals. We should not use the floor of this House to do our cheap politics. It is my committee that appropriates and allocates funds to these offices. And I can confirm to the country and this House that these funds are well spent, they are justified, and they are to do for the good of the country, not the individuals.
Order!
Yes.
Order! Keep on. Order! Is it you to ask him what's his point of order? Is that your business? Order! Order, Ngogoyo. Order! You rose on a point of order. Proceed and tell me what's your point of order. Order! What's your point of order?
Thank you, Speaker.
Yes.
Speaker, I'm saying the learned friend, Karoli, should not mislead this House.
You're not a lawyer. Are you a lawyer yourself?
I'm not.
So you don't, only lawyers
You
can
don't need
call
to be
one
a
another
lawyer.
learned friends. Order, proceed. Proceed.
He is my friend, but he's not learned. Honorable Speaker.
Okay, yeah.
the solution being offered is as bad as the problem itself. Mr. Speaker, wise men have told us before that life under good government is rarely dramatic. The life under a bad government is always so. Honorable Speaker, we are being told that there's money here being allocated for the completion of the stadiums that are being built for AFCON. Let me tell the world, the Talanta Stadium, which they want to name after our great leader Raila Amolo Odinga, is itself an example of how corrupt and how inept this government is. That particular stadium, the original costing was 18 billion. It was revised to 32 billion by University of Nairobi. Today, that stadium is costing $342 million.
What's your point of order, Honorable Dawood? Order. Honorable Dawood, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
Honorable Karoli should substantiate when he said that this money is going for political campaigns. Can he substantiate which political campaigns is he talking about?
Honorable Speaker, there is a schedule here. The 200 million to the office of the Deputy President is
order,
called for.
Honorable Karoli, the majority leader is on a point of order. Order.
Honorable
Yes.
Speaker,
Yes, majority leader.
Honorable Speaker, I rise because I don't want to interrupt Honorable Karoli, and I want to just ask members. Honorable Karoli has his right to say whatever he wants to say. And Honorable Speaker, we are degrading the image of this house. Thoroughly. We are degrading the image of this house when Honorable Karoli stands in his place and the best he can get is a shouting match. Honorable Rahim has a right to interject, Honorable Speaker. And you have given him the right to interject. He will interject for a minute, then Honorable Karoli continues. The member for Kajiado North is there shouting at the other one, you sit down. And Honorable Speaker, you have rightly told the member for Kajiado North, Honorable Ngogoyo, you are the one presiding the House. I really want to beseech you, members. Let us not degrade ourselves to the level we are degrading ourselves, to a level worse than county assemblies, honestly. We should allow, this is exactly what I'm speaking about.
Order.
And you know, Honorable Speaker,
Yes.
it speaks volumes to a member's maturity level. When you can't have the temerity.
Honorable Ngogoyo. Order, Honorable Majority Leader. Order. Honorable members, I want this House to have the dignity that it deserves. I had told you before yesterday, I'm not going to give anybody the honor of sending him out of the House because maybe they would appear on the headlines and that might appeal to people outside the House. The dignity of the House must be protected. But I'm going to change that now. If I hear any shouting matches here and somebody without deferring the responsibility of maintaining order in the House to the Speaker, or the chair for that matter, decides to go on a shouting match across, I'm going to send you out of the House. And I can tell you one thing. I've done that many times before. And I will be willing to do it again. Honorable members, each one of you will get an opportunity. Honorable Ngogoyo, you had your moment. You contributed. You're going to contribute again to this motion if you want. Anybody who has it, order. 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 Who is supposed to do that? You? Kalasinga, Honorable Kalasinga, Honorable Murillo. Everybody will have his moment to rebut, to advance, to explain, to oppose, to propose, to support in this House. This is a house of talking. But it's a house of ideas. It's not a house of shouting matches. So let us maintain that dignity. Proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I really thank the majority leader for those wise words. Unfortunately, he has set the bad precedent himself in this House. He spends a lot of time addressing imaginary enemies and wasting our time here. Anyway, Honorable Speaker, as I was saying, what we have here, and I'm looking at the breakdown, there's a schedule, a long schedule here. When you look at the expenses, if this was a serious government, they could have contemplated some of them when they were making the main budget. There's nothing we can call emergency here, or something that is so special. And the large amounts of resources are allocated to areas that are traditionally known for opaque expenditure and lack of accountability. That is why I'm saying much of the resources here, close to 8-point-something billion, is being taken to areas that we know are being used for politics. 200 million to enable the deputy president continue traveling around the country doing politics. 1 billion to State House. We don't know what happens there, but most of the times we see yellow colors. It has become a party headquarters that is not the house that is supposed to unify the entire republic. And if you look at National Intelligence Service,
Order. You are a lawyer. You understand the traditions in all democracies. There are a number of institutions that you cannot discuss them in the House. If you have to discuss them, you must have in camera. You cannot discuss the national intelligence. You cannot discuss our armed forces. You cannot discuss the Navy, the Army, the Air Force in the manner you're going to discuss any other. So you can talk about the others, but don't bring in the national intelligence or the Army or the Navy or the Air Force.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I was the top constitutional lawyer in my class. Let me remind the House.
MP for game, order. MP for game. You will remind the House later when there's
Mr. Speaker,
order. Yes.
The Honorable Karoli has been a beneficiary of many visits to State House. So you know when he visits State House, you must have some tea. It is an important institution. So, and we have many times in the night, Mr. Speaker, visited State House with Karoli. So he cannot say he doesn't know what.
That order, Honorable MP for game. MP for game. Order, Honorable MP for game. That's a point of argument. It's not a point of order. Order. Proceed, Karoli.
Honorable Speaker, our Constitution places all the security agencies under civilian oversight in this House. Section 23 of our Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act clearly says that all documents, whether from National Intelligence Service or the military, are to be brought to this House for scrutiny. So what I'm doing is correct. There is no law that says we don't have oversight. Our Constitution is clear, parliamentary powers and privileges are clear.
Order. I don't know if you're on your second term or your first term. Your first term. Then you are misorder. Order. Wamboka, order. I am the one who is on the floor. The chair is addressing the House. Order. If you are a first termer, you better learn that. Order. Honorable Kalasinga, I want you out of the House for the moment. Out. Until for the rest of the day. You don't even know the rules, because if I tell the Sergeant at Arms and he touches you like that, you will lose a lot of time and a lot of money. So what you don't know the rules, go and study the rules. Order, honorable members, the direction is that Honorable Kalasinga stays out of the House for the rest of the day. Honorable Kalasinga, out. The chair directs that you stay out of the House for the rest of the day. Order. No business will be transacted until you are out of the House. Order. Who was on the floor at the time?
Mr. Speaker, the interruptions continue. I'm still soldiering on. Mr. Speaker, let me strongly oppose this particular supplementary budget for the reasons I've said. And I've given the example of Talanta Stadium, where a whopping 42 billion shillings is being spent there without a tender, without sufficient public scrutiny. And we know why. We know why. We know what is happening there. But one time, in not so distant a future, there'll be accountability. And we will make sure it happens. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Majority Leader, followed by the Honorable Amolo, Otienda Amolo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this second supplementary budget of the year 2025-2026. Honorable Speaker, let me begin by reiterating what I said when we were considering the report of the committee, that a second supplementary budget ordinarily is to realign expenditure that you cannot be able to consume maybe in one state department to another state department that will be able to consume that money within that fiscal year, or, as the case is in some of the items that are here, to provide for very urgent and emergency funding that had not been provided for. And I just want to point out a few, Honorable Speaker, so that even, Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from these people making noise behind me. I can hardly hear myself. Yes, I am of the view, anybody from either side of the House. I wish I had those powers to send anyone out. But, Honorable members, I was very serious when I said we need to uphold the decorum of the House. Because Honorable Karoli Omondi will stand in his place, make his point. If there is something that he says I don't agree with, I will correct the situation, like I will be correcting what he's saying about Talanta Stadium. Honorable Speaker, I was saying some of that expenditure, and I'm happy you have guided on NIS, because NIS, our State Department for Internal Security, are getting an additional 1.5 billion and 3.5 billion to NIS for security operations. And Honorable Speaker, those of us who come from areas that have suffered insecurity, and those members from Marsabit will tell you the problems that they have had in the recent past. You cannot wait for the next financial year to be able to appropriate for security operations and security matters. Because if anything were to happen and the security agencies say they could not do it because they didn't have resources, Honorable Speaker, the discussion will be different from what we are saying here. Honorable Speaker, what are we providing for? And our own members, ordinarily, I'll never have gone into these details. But because there are those of us who want to make politics out of this, it is good to point it out. And I'll start with what affects you as members of parliament. In this supplementary budget, if Honorable Yegon can listen, and the Honorable Benjamin Langat, if only they can listen,
Proceed.
Honorable Benjamin Langat and Yegon, you will know that in this budget, your own medical as members of parliament, you have an additional 110 million. Your own medical. I do not need to name names and what some of us, our colleagues, have had to go through in the recent past, and the support they have gotten from this institution. It may happen to any one of you before the end of this financial year or the next financial year. In this, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Rahim Dawood, standing where he's standing, he will interject the Honorable Karoli Omondi because he wants to be seen on TV on KBC. For him to be seen on KBC, Parliament has to pay KBC. We have provided an additional 200 billion shillings for you to continue getting the live broadcast so that you may be seen on TV, as many of you want to be seen on TV. Honorable members, many of you frequent the office of the clerk, the office of the speaker, the office of the leader of minority, leader of majority. Help me to access this or that trip. Those trips, you use Kenya Airways. In this budget, you have an additional 150 million shillings, 180 million shillings for pending bills to Kenya Airways, owed by Parliament. Owed by Parliament. In this budget, you have 100 million shillings for those of us, Honorable Speaker, who have offices at KICC, and you access your office without being fitted by anybody, even when Parliament has not paid your rent. We have provided for 100 million shillings to pay for your rent. Honorable Speaker, the people we represent, our children are going to sit for their grade 9 exams. Those who will be sitting for KCSE, the second last class, are sitting for their last exams this year. The second last class. We have provided money to NEC, 1.5 billion shillings, to do what? We have not paid our invigilators, we have not paid our examiners, we have not paid the police officers who escort those exams to ensure, and security people who ensure that those exams do not leak, to have a credible examination process. And yet, Honorable Speaker, we expect that this year we'll sit for exams, credible exams, if we have not paid our examiners and invigilators and security teams that we have not paid in the last year. Honorable Speaker, we all pontificate whenever we speak, all of us, whether here, whether in funerals, whether in political rallies, on the need to address the question of joblessness and lack of employment for millions of our youth who are ravaging out there in poverty. The greatest responsibility we have as leaders is to make sure that, since we pride ourselves in the National Assembly as a budget-making house, the people with the power of the purse, we use that power to ensure that we are providing resources that will create at least, even if it is one job of a Kenyan who had no job, it is good enough. Even one job. The Nyota program, Honorable Speaker, is supporting not just the growth of entrepreneurship in our country, but creating jobs in a manner many of us who are well endowed may not understand. That 20,000 shillings, 22, 25, 30,000 shillings can change the life and livelihood of an entire family, leave alone an individual. We have provided 5.7 billion shillings for the Nyota program in this. That is the money you see that is split between the State Department for MSMEs and the Youth Department. Honorable Speaker, sports stadia. I don't even want to dwell on the politics that the Honorable Karoli Omondi wanted to bring, including saying the Nairobi University had their own figures, as if the Nairobi University is a procurement authority. Honorable Speaker, Talanta Stadium, for those of you who fly, if you listen to your captains, they have been referring to the monastery in their geographical coordinates as you come to land in Nairobi. Today, I hear them referring, especially as you approach Wilson, because one of the runways is closed, the one that faces where the monastery is, they are now referring to the new landmark in the city and in the country and in East Africa and Africa as a continent, Talanta Raila Odinga International Stadium. This Raila Odinga Stadium that the Honorable Karoli Omondi does not want to hear anything to do with, because it is named after Raila Odinga, a great man, a great statesman. This Talanta Stadium, under appropriations in aid, Honorable Speaker, I know some may not conceptualize what appropriations in aid is. Under appropriations in aid from the sports fund, we are allowing them a further 4.1 billion for sports stadia. Honorable Speaker, this supplementary budget, as I said yesterday, also realigns areas where people may not be able, or a State Department may not be able to absorb everything. And if you look at it, there is a reduction of about 700 million to align the budget with actual institutional requirements. 1.8 billion
is coming from the contingency fund. Because when we budget, even the budget that we just did for the next financial year, Honorable Samatandi will tell you, we provided for money in the contingency fund. What does this money do? If there is any budgeting that you did not provide for in the budget, you utilize that contingency fund to fund. Now we are taking 1.8 billion because we are coming to the close of the year. That money has not been spent, and you take it to more important things where you can spend this money. For instance, you want to watch FIFA World Cup. Broadcasting rights for KBC has 150 million shillings from this. Honorable Speaker, the people of Kwale and the entire coast region and parts of the lower eastern will give you horror stories. I do not want to say horror, like someone said here, that Kenyans watching horror. You know, Honorable Naomi Wako is saying it depends on where you come from. And the person who said Kenyans are watching in horror comes from Ranga, and I come from Kiambu, and we all speak the same language. Honorable Speaker, Mwache Dam development has 2.3 billion shillings. I was speaking about the horror stories that the people of the coast and parts of Lower Eastern can tell you. How mothers woke up as early as 4 a.m. in search of water. How communities spend 3/4 of their day looking for water. When this Mwache Dam is completed, finally completed, you will see the transformation that this will deliver to the people, not just of the coast, but our nation, because the coast region is also a very important tourist destination. Honorable Speaker, I decided to mention those things in detail, so that even as we politic, because we have a right also to politic, but let us also use this house to inform Kenyans the truth of what we are doing. And that is why I was at pain when I see a member shouting at another, just because you don't agree with what they are saying, and you don't dwell on the actual business of what the people of Kenya pay you to do. Because this is what we are paid to do. Honorable Speaker, I've heard some tell others, oh, you have not provided for this and that road. This is a second supplementary budget with, today is the 18th or 17th, I don't know. Today is the 18th. The end of the financial year is in another 12 days. So you must be certain, if you are putting money in development, it is money that you get exchequer releases. And if you are aware, probably they have started strangling the system now to slow down on exchequer releases from the National Treasury. Therefore, those of you who want to belittle, because I had a member belittling the member for Nandi Hills, I am aware and I know the people of Nandi Hills have roads, and I'm sure the member for Nandi Hills can name those roads. They have roads provided for in the budget because this member for Nandi Hills is a very diligent member of parliament who takes time to follow on development projects in his constituency. And I would dare the member for Kajiado North, who was fighting the member for Nandi Hills, tell the people of Kajiado North a single road that you have followed up to provide for the people of Kajiado North.
Honorable Majority Leader, you understand the rules very well. You cannot discuss a fellow member conduct both inside and outside the House without a substantive motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand guided, and as always, I cannot argue with the chair. Because you know, the only person with powers to throw me out of the House is you. And I abide by what you are saying, Honorable Speaker, because I want us to allow each other to debate. So that, Honorable Speaker, when the member for Kajiado North spites the member for Nandi Hills, the member for Nandi Hills gets an opportunity to defend it. But because he's a member, he's my member, and I know line by line what is in the budget. I know Nandi Hills has adequate roads because of the diligence and follow-up by the member for Nandi Hills. But I know the people of Kajiado North are still crying, and crying very hard. The people of Kajiado North are my immediate neighbors. I have roads that I am pushing on behalf of the people of Kajiado North. And some I have made sure those roads are in the budget because I follow on their behalf.
A member is on a point of order, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, but
to ask you, is a majority leader in order to keep referring to members of parliament, even to keep referring to people outside this parliament? Every time you have a debate, he has to delay debates by naming individuals who are not on this parliament and other members of parliament, trying to degrade people with his remarks.
Honorable member.
Trying to demean people.
Order, honorable member. I've heard you. Honorable member, I am very keenly listening to him. The moment he crosses the boundary and discusses the conduct of the MP for Narok North, even to say that he's not doing good enough for his people to get roads, I'll order him out of order. Order. We are in a session. Order. Muriu. Order.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Since my time is about to get over, I have no business replying to the member for Starehe. I mentioned Kajiado North because they are my immediate neighbors, and they are roads that I am working very hard for them, for the people of Kajiado North, to get access to roads, because the people of Kajiado North deserve development like any other part of Kenya. And I have worked very hard, and I will make sure the roads that were connecting the Gong bypass, that I made sure was in this budget, because almost...
Give him an additional 3 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, I was saying, because...
Conclude.
As I conclude, Honorable Speaker, I was saying, the Gong bypass road, for instance, and the roads, the Matasia loops, because almost 40% of the people who live in Kajiado North migrated from my village in Kekambura. They call me every day. And I, as a national leader, I have to support them. And I have supported them, and I've made sure in the next budget, the next financial year's budget, the Gong bypass road will be done, and it is there. Just like the member, I hope the member for Nandi Hills will get an opportunity to tell the people of Nandi Hills the kind of work he has put in, because I've been to Nandi Hills. I know the roads he has seen in the office to help him with. But,
Honorable Speaker, I think is the majority leader in order to make such reckless statements that I ensured the money was in the budget, that I will make sure that thing is in the budget next year. I mean, we have a budget framework. We have a process of making budgets in this country. Are you revealing to the country that those processes don't matter? It is what your whims are when you want to attend to your relatives that matters. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, that was unnecessary interjection that I have no time for. Because we all know, and we live in this country, we know how we do the budgets. You know, nothing will land on your table, nothing will land on the table if you are not a diligent member of parliament to be able to follow it up. You must make sure that you interact with the budget committee. You must make sure you interact with the state departments. That is why I am saying, Honorable Speaker, for us to be debating development expenditure 2 weeks to the end of the financial year, we only want to throw points at the member for Nandi Hills, who is I must repeat, is a very diligent member. Very diligent. More diligent by another one who is very fond of pointing fingers at him. Whereas I am very busy working for the people of Kenya. And I will continue to ensure even the people of Suba South get roads. They get access to electricity because they are Kenyans and they deserve. And the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury, as much as it hurts one of us, he is an expert par excellence, given to us by ODM. And the expert from Suba South, the Honorable John Buddy, as much as it is painful to one of us here, he is doing a great job in ensuring that development is there across the country and there is inclusivity. Finally, Honorable Speaker, on State House budget. On State House budget, because that's the other thing I've had people try to make.
Order. Give him half a minute and conclude.
Half a minute to conclude and say this, Honorable Speaker. State House is not State House Nairobi alone. We are all aware we have done a number of state lodges across the country, including the people for Wajir in the northern Kenya. People who felt excluded from Kenya. That people are saying, even Homa Bay, there is a state lodge.
Therefore, recurrent expenditure in State House cannot be what it were last year. We just hosted the Africa France Summit, Honorable Speaker. You know that cost money in recurrent expenditure, the President hosting all those people, and we have to provide for those expenses. The same for the office of the Deputy President. So therefore, even as we seek to follow those who are posting on social media, because I've seen one former member of parliament for Madeira posting on social media,
you wish to be
we
informed?
must make
You wish to be informed
clear.
by Honorable Kaluma?
Honorable Kaluma is very intelligent to inform me. He should inform me.
The majority leader, that unlike our former presidents, now you go to State House and you don't take Fanta and biscuits. You are welcomed as a Kenyan, and we have a president who has opened State House to everybody, not just some top people. Anybody can go to State House and sit with their leader. And so we have to budget for it.
Honorable Majority Leader,
Honorable Speaker, I was concluding. Let me thank Honorable Kaluma for that information, and to also tell the House and this country that unlike some of our former presidents who spent a lot of time in State House, our president is very mobile, and therefore that mobility, that making every Kenyan feel part and parcel of our country in creating inclusivity and togetherness and the unity of our nation, building that unity, the president travels across the country. This is a president who this morning left France, Paris, landed in Mombasa. He is now presiding over the Ocean Conference with hundreds of thousands of delegates from around the world to grow our blue economy that is transforming not just the coast region, the Nyanza region, Lake Turkana and other blue economy areas. Therefore, we cannot compare President William Ruto, who is a teetotaler, with, State House has also been used. There used to be a bar there. It has since been closed. This man is not going to bars. Before that, there are very many active bars in State House. They are all closed. They are now building a church in State House. And that church is being built by money from the president himself. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
the Honorable Otende Amolo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support this supplementary appropriation number 2 bill of 2026. But with a caution, Mr. Speaker, and this is from the perspective of the Public Accounts Committee. I see my colleagues, Honorable Nabi is here, Dr. Undo is here, Honorable Koechi is there, Honorable Namwari is there. Two things, Mr. Speaker. First is the question of actual expenditure. Mr. Speaker, I note that we have 12 days to the end of the financial year. I am hoping that as Honorable Atandi asks us to support this bill, and we do, that the committee will appropriately caution all these agencies that they had better be sure they'll spend this money before the end of the financial year. Because part of what we deal with routinely is coming to the end of the financial year, and you find agencies that have not spent even up to 40% of what they were allocated. And my caution, therefore, Mr. Speaker, is that if any of these agencies should end up with having an audit query for not having spent, then the Budget and Appropriations Committee should appropriately penalize them by reducing their budget in the next cycle. My second caution, Mr. Speaker, is on confidential expenditure. Mr. Speaker, I note that half of this supplementary budget, that's about 6 billion, goes to 3 agencies that usually have confidential expenditure. That is State House, 1 billion, Internal Security, 1.5 billion, and National Intelligence, 3.5 billion, about 50%. Mr. Speaker, part of what we have routinely faced are some of these agencies taking virtually every other expenditure and putting it under confidential expenditure. And the reason is, they say Treasury has not updated or revised the regulations to indicate what is confidential expenditure and what is not confidential expenditure. Mr. Speaker, I want to urge the Finance and National Planning Committee, in conjunction with the Budget Committee.
Order, Honorable Otende. Honorable Kaluma is on a point of order.
Honorable Speaker, I never interrupt on Boamolo, but there is constant mention of confidential vote through the presentations, and it is a very sensitive issue. if I remember, the idea of confidential votes was abolished last year. Could Honorable Amolo mention to us this confidential vote that is referring to and which the members are referring to, so that we can make a decision with knowledge around it? Because so far as I'm aware, there is no confidential vote here.
Mr. Speaker, if that was a point of order, then I do not know under which standing order it arises, because that is a contribution.
No,
Mr. Speaker, I want to tell you. I want to tell you.
Order.
I want to respond, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Honorable Otiende Amolo, you are a senior member here. Standing order number 91 says that a member shall be responsible for the accuracy of any facts which the member alleges to be true and may be required to substantiate any such facts instantly. So what you should have asked for is for you to substantiate what are these confidential votes.
Mr. Speaker, this is as a matter of law, not as a matter of fact, and I will explain. I started by mentioning some of my colleagues with whom we serve in the Public Accounts Committee, and they're here. Mr. Speaker, the three agencies have indicated whenever we ask for their audit queries, including yesterday, they indicate that these fall under the confidential vote, which cannot be responded to because Treasury has not developed guidelines. The only point I wanted to make is this, and it's a very simple point. We do not need to disagree on this. That the Finance and Planning Committee, in conjunction with the Budget Committee, should urge Treasury to now develop these guidelines to separate what is confidential from what is not confidential. Because to the best of my knowledge and to the best of our committee knowledge, no such distinction has been abolished.
Honorable Tongoe is on a point of order.
That's what I want to. Honorable Speaker, I want to be very factual, and I respect our senior counsel there. If you'll be keen to look into those specifications, there is nothing like confidential. It is either in the Ministry of Interior, it is indicated security operation, which is totally opposite and different from security operation, confidential. In the State House as well, yes, in the State House as well, it is just other operating expenses. It's nothing like confidential. So let's not mislead the House, let's not misinform the country. Those are not confidential, and should be clear as that.
There is no confidential vote.
You can only rise on a point of order if there's an active member on the floor. So wait until Honorable Otiende Amolo resumes his debate, and then you can rise on a point. Proceed, Honorable Otiende Amolo.
Mr. Speaker, I accept to be informed by Honorable Dr.
Point of information? Yes. Yes.
Honorable Speaker, we are responsible members of Parliament. We are leaders in this country, and we swore to uphold the Constitution of Kenya. Those of us who sit in Public Accounts Committee, and I have sat there since 2020, Honorable Speaker, every year there are several agencies that have a confidential vote that is never subject to being unpacked. And that's what Honorable Otiende Amolo is alluding for. I sit in the Public Accounts Committee. I can even bring you the public accounts, the report of the Director General that was even discussed as late as yesterday to this House for purpose of substantiating the issue that there's a confidential vote in our books of accounts. Yeah.
Honorable, let him rise first. Proceed, Otiende Amolo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my point is a very simple one, and I do not know why
Majority Leader, you are on a
it
point of
attracts
order.
controversy.
What's your point of order, Honorable Majority Leader?
Honorable Speaker, listening to what Honorable Ondo, I don't know if whether he's a member of the Public Accounts Committee, but I know the senior counsel is a member or was a member of the Public Accounts Committee, if not the chair some time back. But Honorable Speaker, I think we need to make it clear what the Honorable Ngogoi said, what the Honorable Kaluma has said. Before 2024, there used to be a confidential vote. After 2024, that confidential vote was abolished, and we must not confuse what is classified expenditure, like you had rightly guided, There's what is usually classified expenditure, military, NIS, part of what Honorable Ngogo is speaking about, security operations, which you will not discuss in an open forum. But confidential, Honorable Speaker, I would want the Honorable Oundo, because he alleges that it is something they are discussing in the Public Accounts Committee. You can debate something in a committee, but until and unless it is in a formal report before this House, we cannot be discussing it, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, I would want to advise that if there is anything that they want to address in the Public Accounts Committee, they put it in their report, it comes before the House. If there are issues the Auditor General has raised, and Senior Counsel knows that, they will bring the report here and they will debate it. But let us not use this forum again to send the wrong message out there to people, as I can see attempts to.
Let him rise.
Mr. Speaker, if I may just wind up my contribution. Mr. Speaker, whether you want to call it classified, whether you want to call it confidential, whether you want to call it other vote, my point is a very simple one. That the agencies constantly come and say we cannot respond to this because they still use the word confidential. They may use the word classified. But the point is, Treasury has not distinguished, has not generated the regulations to indicate these ones can be classified or these ones cannot. And therefore, most of these agencies come and say we cannot respond to almost everything because it falls in that category. All I'm saying is that it behoves us as a House to work with Treasury to create that distinction.
Order.
Lastly, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable Otiende Amolo. I will repeat that again. And I've had the opportunity in the 10th Parliament, in the 7th Parliament. You see, there is intelligence gathering, there's counterintelligence, there's terrorism, there's counterterrorism. You expect those institutions are going to tell you we use these things to go and get espionage, counter-espionage. Those things are not for public, There is the military order, military hardware and ordinances. There is the officers who are there. Nobody knows the number of our officers in the armed forces. It's supposed to be a classified information order. Classified information. Honorable members, let us not confuse statecraft. Order. Mbui. I think without proper arrangements being done by security cleared committee, this parliament, open parliament, cannot discuss our security institutions in any way. Not the military. Nobody is supposed to know how many helicopters we have, how many planes we have, how many of these things. And these are information, the expenditure is for ordinances. So I want you to know that when you get to that, please, it's a no-go area. But anybody else, order. Any other area, yes, but not the security machinery, not the intelligence, not the armed forces of this country. On who? On me. You see, that's why I tell you you're a first timer. You rise on a point of order when a member is contributing and is not. Order. I am not debating. I am guiding the House. No, I'm guiding the House. Proceed. Proceed, Amolo. We don't want this basic activism to go into national security. National security is not an easy thing to mess around with. Proceed.
Can I have the mic?
Give the mic to Honorable Otiende Amolo.
What?
Use the next one, Otiende Amolo.
Which one? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, it is funny that the very point you make is all I'm making, yes, and yet you make it by way of correcting me. No. The point I'm making is simple.
No, I'm informing the House, I'm not correcting you. Yes.
That the fact that there are certain things that cannot be disclosed to the public, yes, should not be an excuse to cover even those which should be audited. And what should happen is that Treasury should develop very clear guidelines to say these ones cannot be the subject of public debate. Okay. But these ones ought to be the subject of public debate. You cannot take, say, the entire amount allocated to one agency because it's a security agency and say it cannot be audited. That's all I'm saying. And you are actually agreeing with me, Mr. Speaker, and we spent so much time on this for no reason. I want to close as I say the following. Two matters, Mr. Speaker. One, I agree with the majority
What's your point
leader.
of order, Honorable Kaluma? What's your point of order, Honorable Kaluma? Order, Honorable Senate. When somebody stands on a point of order, I will give you. Yeah, but when he's contributing, stand on a point of order. Okay, I'll get you them. You'll have it. What is out of order, Honorable Kaluma? Can you give the mic to Honorable Kaluma? Go to any nearer one, that's centuries. Come to the front. Can you give the mic to Honorable Kaluma for God's sake?
Kaluma, there's a mic here. They have a point of order, so I'm waiting.
Sergeant at arms. Sergeant.
Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Otiende Amolo raises the good point that if there are confidential votes, then we should have a regulation around them. And we don't contest that point. The point of order I raised, Honorable Speaker, is that we are debating supplementary appropriations number 2 bill of 2026.
Mine is not working.
And in that supplementary appropriation bill we are dealing with, there is no provision for confidential vote. And my worry is that in as much as Honorable Amolo's explanation is good, if we let it go that way, the presumption by people watching us outside there will be that there are confidential provisions here which are not there. So could we agree that for purposes of relevance, there is no confidential vote provision here?
Clearly, what Honorable Amolo is saying, whether it's classified or not classified, or it's confidential or classified, we need to have certain guidelines from the Treasury, which is perfectly in order. Proceed. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that intervention. Mr. Speaker, I'm coming to my last
Wamboka
point.
is also on a point of order. What's your point of order? Wamboka.
Honorable Speaker, I wonder why are people panicking? Honorable Attender Amolo is saying, as late as yesterday,
Order. That's why I keep wondering why you people don't read your own standing orders and understand the basic rules of debate in the House. You rise on a point of order. You rise on a point of order. Did he accept your information? So wait until he accepts your information. It's not for me to grant that. Proceed, Honorable Amorati.
Mr. Speaker, you realize I had barely taken 2 minutes.
I'll give you an additional 1 minute. So do you wish to be informed by Wamboka?
Yes. So, Mr. Speaker, as I come to my third point on a general point, first, I agree with the Honorable Majority Leader that we need decorum in this House. Yes. That we can disagree, but reasonably. But that includes not raising unnecessary points of order.
Yes.
By way of contribution, which you can wait and make during your own time. That also includes, unfortunately, Majority Leader, not decampaigning your own colleagues by saying what they've not done for their constituencies. Mr. Speaker,
May I also say, and I sympathize with you, because in this house we have two sides of the aisle. But these aisles are very difficult because you have the minority on the majority side. Then you have the minority on the minority side. And so people keep crisscrossing and you really can't quite tell. But still, I think on the ultimate, Mr. Speaker, it is the balance that will achieve the decorum in this house. As I finish, and I agree again with the majority leader.
Give him give him 20 seconds.
I agree that the Raila Amolo Odinga Stadium is an icon. But for the avoidance of doubt, Raila Amolo Odinga name cannot have another name beside it. It is not Talanta Raila Amolo Odinga. It is Raila Amolo Odinga Stadium. Thank you.
Honorable members, order. The opportunity now belongs to the newly elected member of parliament for Emurua Dikir. The rules are very clear. He is not to be interrupted at all. Yes. He's making his maiden speech.
Yes.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you for granting me this opportunity to make my maiden speech in this honorable house. I rise today with profound humility and deep gratitude as the duly elected member of parliament for Emurua Dikir constituency following the by-election held on 14th May 2026 under the United Democratic Alliance Party. First and foremost, I thank the Almighty God for His grace. I also thank the people of Emurua Dikir for the confidence and trust they bestowed upon me.
Proceed.
Yeah. As some might be aware, this was my fourth attempt seeking the mandate to serve my people. And standing here today is a testimony that determination, patience, and faith can indeed reward. I remain deeply humbled by the overwhelming support from all corners of our constituency, from Mogondo to Alalmasani, Ilkerin to Kapsasian, and every village in between. I equally thank the UDA party leadership, our party leader, His Excellency President Dr. William Samoei Ruto, my family, friends, campaign team, council of elders, religious leaders, and every supporter who stood with me in votes, prayer, and encouragement during this historic journey. And even to those who did not vote for me, I'll be a leader to all. Mr. Speaker, sir, as I stand here today, I do so in shadow of immense sorrow following the tragic loss of our beloved leader, the late Honorable Johanna Ngeno, who lost his life in the unfortunate helicopter crash on 28 February 2026.
Honorable member, I am made to understand that you did have an opportunity yesterday to address the House, although you're doing it on the issue of the late Conchela. But that was your maiden moment. Nonetheless, the chair will give you an opportunity, but you must intersperse it with contribution on the order paper today. Proceed.
Okay. Well guided. We lost a fearless leader, a patriot, and a servant of the people who dedicated his life to fighting for the dignity and progress of our constituency. May his soul continue resting in peace. Mr. Speaker, sir, I do not come here to replace Honorable Johanna Ngeno, for no one can replace him. Rather, I come to continue the journey we began together as comrades in the year 2007, when the quest to carve out Emurua Dikir from Kilgoris constituency began. By 2013, we had already succeeded to have our own constituency as a people. And so I honor this legacy through service, humility, and commitment to the people he loved dearly. I pledge to carry forward his dream and for a better Emurua Dikir, and to ensure that his vision does not die with him. Many honorable members who attended the burial of our departed leader had an opportunity to interact with the people of Emurua Digir and witness both the progress made and the opportunities that still exist for further development within our constituency. Indeed, we appreciate the strides that have been made over the years in the sectors of road infrastructure, education, rural electrification, agriculture, and establishment of important public institutions across our constituency. However, as the youngest and growing constituency, there remains a need for continued investment to expand road network, a matter on which I am already engaging relevant authorities. Mr. Speaker, sir, there is a need to improve access to clean and reliable water, enhance electricity connectivity to the last mile, strengthen agricultural support programs for our farmers. Mr. Speaker, I dream of schools where every child can learn in dignity and compete equally with children from other parts of Kenya. On healthcare, I am committed to working closely with the county government of Narok and relevant national agencies to ensure our health facilities, including Emurua Digit Level 4 Hospital, are well equipped, adequately staffed, and fully operational to serve our people effectively. Mr. Speaker, sir, the greatest strength of Emurua Digit is its people. They are resilient, industrious, and hardworking citizens whose potential, if well supported, can greatly contribute to both our local and national economy. I look forward to working with various stakeholders to open more economic and employment opportunities for our youth across the 4 wards. Mr. Speaker, while acknowledging my legislative roles as per Constitution, particularly Articles 94 and 95, I undertake to exercise firm oversight over NGCDF to ensure that every cent allocated to Emurua Digir serves the intended purpose. I also commit myself to ensuring fairness, transparency, and equity in allocation of bursaries so that no deserving child misses education because of poverty, discrimination. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to acknowledge the resilience, strength, determination of the people of Emurua Digir. For years, our people have endured hardship, marginalization, and neglect, yet they have never lost hope. Today, they look to this house with renewed optimism, and their voices shall finally be heard and their challenges addressed. I promise the people of Emurua Digir that I shall serve them faithfully, protect their interests fearlessly, and I commit to being unifying factor in our bid to transform our constituency into a beacon of progress and opportunity. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to thank the following members of Parliament who came to support me way back in 2017, led by Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, Honorable Tongoyo, Honorable Kibagendi, Honorable Ngogoyo, Honorable Parejo, Honorable Tongei Rebecca, among many others. Although I found Honorable Kibagendi and Gogoyo not support the government, I would wish them to cross the floor to support the government of the day. May God bless Emurua Digir and may God bless Kenya. Thank you so much.
What's your point of order, Honorable Mizigi? What's your point? Give her the mic. Give the Honorable Member for Taita Taveta, Haika Mizigi, the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I stand at the standing orders 95. Mr. Speaker, since we've had enough time adequately to contribute to the motion, Mr. Speaker, I will request that the mover to be called to reply, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I now order. Honorable members, let's have order. Take the nearest seat, honorable member. Order. MP standing there. Who is there? Honorable member, take a seat. Take a seat. When the chair, order. Honorable Senate. Order. Honorable members, I now put the question that the mover be called upon to reply. As many as that appearance say aye. Aye. As many as contrary say nay. No. The ayes have it. The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Before
you reply, I think there's one thing I wish to draw the attention of the House to, because it's important. Honorable members, please do read your standing orders. Do read your standing orders. 4 years into the House now, and I get the feeling that most of you have not read your standing orders. If you are sent out of the House and you fail or you refuse or you become a hero, the Speaker has no option but to call on the Sergeant at Arms to remove you. If you are removed by the Sergeant at Arms, action to be taken on refusal to withdraw. Standing order number 111. If any member shall refuse to withdraw when required to do so, by or under these standing orders, the Speaker or the chairperson of the committee, as the case may be, having called the attention of the House or committee to the fact that recourse to force is necessary in order to compel such member to withdraw, shall order such member to be removed, and such member shall thereupon, without question, be suspended from the House or from the service of the House for a minimum of 21 days and a maximum of 90 days. And shall during that such suspension forfeit the right of access to the President of the Parliament, and the Sergeant at Arms shall take necessary action to enforce the order. In addition to it, the member loses his... You know what I'm talking about. So when you want to become a hero, you better know the consequences. The consequences can be very severe. I've never had an opportunity to do that, and I will never want to do it. But I want us to have a lot of decorum and a lot of dignity here. And always there will be a balance. If you feel that you haven't been hard enough, the Speaker will always make sure there's a balance, proper balance. And all sides are hard properly. But this House has got to be a house of dignity. Proceed and reply.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank members. This is the very first time, Honorable Speaker, that we are discussing the budget bills with the House almost half full. In the past, we have always been a handful of us when we are discussing this finance and budget matter. So I want to thank members again. We have had a robust debate on this matter. But Honorable Speaker, there's something that I want to tell members. Budget committee transacts businesses from departmental committees. And every time we are executing budgets, we meet chairmen of committees where all of you sit. And they come to us with different resource requirements for each and every department and ministries. I wish to confirm that I have never seen, or we have never executed a budget where a ministry has been given their full resource requirements. We are always giving them a handful, hoping that in the supplementary estimates, we'll have a chance to give them more resources. Honorable Speaker, for example, Parliament, this Parliament, the resource requirement for Parliament is about 65 billion. We are only able to give them about under 50 billion. The resource requirement, for example, Honorable Speaker, for the police requires about 220 billion. We have a gap of about 65 billion to police. Honorable Speaker, judiciary, the resource requirement for judiciary is about 40 billion. We have been able to allocate them just under 30 billion. Honorable Speaker, the resource requirement for State House is about 25 billion. As at today, when we are passing this supplementary too, State House has a gap of about 8 billion, which we are unable to fund them. So, Honorable Speaker, this debate about State House being overfunded needs to come to an end. And members, because you sit in these committees, you need to have a better understanding of the budget other than the public. So that when you come to the floor of the House and you start accusing us of giving more resources to State House, you need to have facts. For example, Honorable Speaker, the NIS has a funding gap of 30 billion that we are unable to resource for them. So we must agree that this House will never appropriate sufficient resources for each and every ministry, each and every department, and therefore we need to stop this politicization of budget. There is no politics in this budget. The allocations are proper. They are required to run those specific ministries, and therefore what we are doing as budget committee is not to appropriate resources for particular people. Honorable Speaker, with those many remarks, I would like to reply and ask I would like to reply. Thank you.
Order. Honorable members, I now put the question that the supplementary appropriation number 2 bill, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2026 be now read a second time. No, be now read a second time. As men of the appearance say aye. Aye. As men of the country appearance say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, we have a supplement. Oh, proceed first.
A bill for an act of parliament to authorize the issue of certain sums of money out of the consolidated fund and the application towards the service of the year ending on the 30th June 2026 and to appropriate those sums for certain public services and purposes.
Honorable members, we have a supplementary order paper. And now we are going to order number 9, Roman 1. Order number 9, Roman 2 is deferred to an appropriate date, time in the future. Date and time in the future. And now we're going into committee.
Order number 9, Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable members, Mr. Speaker.
Oh, members, this is a short bill, and I would like order. I would like us to have attention of the House, and then we proceed quickly. All members, you are now in the Committee of the Whole House, considering the supplementary appropriation number 2, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2026. First schedule. All members, I propose the question that the first schedule be the schedule of the bill. Is there an amendment? Chairperson, schedule. The first schedule.
I would like to move that clause 2 of the bill.
Order. We're on the first schedule.
No, there's no amendment.
The amendment?
There's no amendment.
No, just a minute, please. The Honorable Chair approach the table.
Do you have an extra copy?
We have a supplementary order paper, so Chairperson, please move the amendment of the first schedule. Order. The supplementary one. Go ahead.
I would like to move that the first schedule to the bill be deleted and replaced with the following new schedule, which is in the order paper. Thank you.
All members, I propose the question that the first schedule of the bill be amended as proposed by the Chair, Budget Appropriation Committee. I now put the question to all members that the first schedule of the bill be amended as proposed by the Chairperson of the BSC Committee. Will as another opinion say aye? Will as another opinion say nay? Ayes have it. I now put the question to members that the first schedule as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of that opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Second schedule. Members, I propose the question that the second schedule be the second schedule of the bill. Honorable Chair.
I would like to move that the second schedule to the bill be amended and replaced with the following new schedule, which is here in the bill, in the order paper.
All members, I propose the question, therefore, that the second schedule be amended as proposed by the Chair of the BSC. I put the question that the second schedule be amended as proposed by the Chair of the Budget Appropriation Committee. Will as another opinion say aye? Will as another opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the second schedule as amended be part of the bill. Will as another opinion say aye? Will as another opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Clause 5. All members, I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Honorable Chair.
I would like to move that clause 5 of the bill be amended by inserting the expression R1152 immediately after the expression R11071.
All members, I propose a question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the chairperson of the Budget Appropriation Committee. I now put the question, members, that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the chairperson of the BSC committee. Will ask another opinion say aye. Will ask another opinion say nay. Ayes have it. Members, I now put the question, therefore, that clause 5 as amended be part of the bill. Will ask another opinion say aye. Will ask another opinion say nay. Ayes have it.
Clauses 3 and 4.
All members, I propose a question that clauses 3 and 4 be part of the bill. There being no amendment, I now put the question that clauses 3 and 4 be part of the bill. Will ask another opinion say aye. Will ask another opinion say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 2.
All members, I propose a question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Honorable Chair.
I move that clause 2 of the clause 2 of the bill be amended by deleting the words 13,885,023,911 appearing after the words the sum of and substituting therefore the words 14,801,023,911. Thank you.
All members, I propose a question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the chairperson of the Budget and Appropriations Committee. I put the question, members, that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the chairperson of the BSC committee. Will ask another opinion say aye. Will ask another opinion say nay. Ayes have it. Members, I now put the question that clause 2 as amended be part of the bill. Will ask another opinion say aye. Will ask many of the contrary opinion say nay. Ayes have it.
Title.
Members, I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. I now put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will ask another opinion say aye. Will ask many of the contrary opinion say nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 1.
Members, I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. There being an amendment, I put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will ask many of the opinion say aye. Will ask many of the opinion say nay. Ayes have it. Reporting. Mover to move for reporting.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the supplementary appropriation number 2 bill, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2026, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Oh, members, I had put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the supplementary appropriations bill number 2, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2026, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will ask another opinion say aye. Will ask another opinion say nay. Ayes have it. Members on the aisle. You're standing for reporting, members.
But you should call the speaker. Mr. Speaker.